Good morning, YouTube. We are firmly in the middle of soup season. Well, great. We ought to make good ones. I'm going to show you how to make a sausage and white bean stew that is stupid good. You're going to love this stuff, I promise. All right, we got a family to feed. Let's cook. Alright, I'm going to show you first what we're working with. I'm going to show you all the ingredients because I'm over here next to the window where we can actually get some light before I walk over to the stove where it may or may not be light depending on if there is a cloud over the sun. Alright, great. Perfect. Alright, so this is one package of kielbasa, and I cut it, all the length, I cut it in half and then in half again and then diced it up. Over here we have one giant yellow onion, a yellow bell pepper, an orange bell pepper, and 3 stalks of celery. Now listen, y'all, you can use whatever bell pepper you want. It does not matter. I tend to use as many colors as possible because it's an easy way to get the kids to eat vegetables of different colors, right? Especially if I throw it in something where they don't notice it as much as if I just like, here, child, eat a bell pepper. Then, you know, don't do that. All right, now you could use you could use 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I happen to have 8 Roma tomatoes that I just diced up. Try not to spill it. About 4 cloves of garlic that I minced with just a touch of olive oil and kosher salt. A teaspoon, oh, you can't see that at all. Let's see. There we go. Teaspoon of red pepper flakes, crushed red pepper. I'm sorry. Yes, that's a teaspoon. This is a tablespoon, aha, of fresh rosemary that I just ran my knife through really well. This is just kosher salt. I'm not going to use the whole thing. I'll probably use a good 2 teaspoons. Alright, so we're starting off over here at the stove. And I have my handy dandy olive oil. A couple tablespoons. And it helps if you turn heat on if you're trying to cook something. Let me see. That angle's a little better. Alright, step 1, we're just going to saute that sausage right in that olive oil over medium heat for just a couple minutes. Let's see. Worse? Oh, that's okay-ish. I know, I've got floodlights on order. I'm sorry they haven't come in yet. I will take care of that. Alright, and then the last thing I want to show you, right here, I have, there we go, a big pot of, these are great northern beans. You can use cannellinis if you want to. I just happen to have these in the cupboard, and so I stuck them on. They've been at a really low simmer for about an hour and a half, so these will be ready to go. When I'm ready, you could use, I don't know, 2 to 4 cans of whatever your favorite kind of white bean, right? Alright, that's all that's going to happen for a minute. I'm sauteing this, and the next step, I'm going to throw in all my vegetables and let that go too. Well, not all of them. I'm going to throw in the savories, the onion, bell pepper, and celery, and let that go too, but yeah, I'll be back. I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, there we go. There's our... Okay, you can tell when the sun has come out in my kitchen. Isn't that amazing, the difference it makes? I've got all the same lighting, everything's the same, but apparently in December and January, the angle of the sun is such that it ain't gonna happen. Alright, so anyway, about 7 or 8 minutes, I'd say. I don't know. So here goes our tomatoes. Just like that. And this is when you want to add your seasonings. So I'm putting in some red pepper flake and my rosemary. And you know, I'm probably gonna grab some thyme and oregano too. I think I'm going to do that here in just a minute. But I'm going to give those tomatoes just a minute to kind of get in there with everybody else. Alright? And then I have 1 quart. Okay, you're going to use about 2 quarts of liquid. Let me talk about the liquid for a minute. I have 1 quart of beef and 1 quart of chicken because my kids have taken like half a cup out of each one. I'm going to use them up. However, if you want to do a vegan version, or not a vegan version, I'm sorry. If you want to do a version with vegetarian broth, you can do that too. Or, if you're using canned beans, get rid of the liquid that come in. It's really gross. But if you're using beans that you've cooked from dried, then go ahead and use the liquid in here too. Okay, this is delicious. The canned stuff is gross. Alright, gonna give this a minute. I'm gonna grab some thyme and oregano, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, got an awful lot of liquid come out of those tomatoes, more than I expected. So we may not use the full 2 quarts of broth. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so we're gonna add our salt. So I'm gonna put about 2 teaspoons in here. It's our kosher salt. Don't forget, if you're using regular salt, you use less than that. You use about half. All right, and then a good tablespoon and a half of dried oregano and a tablespoon and a half of dried thyme. And what order do I want to do this in? Let me grab our spinach. Lots of spinach. That is about 8 cups of fresh spinach. Now, you can use any kind of greens you want. You can use kale, you can use spinach, you can use, what's the other one? Collard greens. You can use collard greens. Now, here's what you want to think about. You can use turnip greens, too. I love turnip greens. Holy wow, I love turnip greens. All right, so here's the thing. Spinach is pretty tender. Kale and turnip greens are less tender. Collards are the toughest, okay? So that's gonna affect your cooking time. Also, if you use turnip greens, I find they're a tiny bit sweet. So if you don't mind a little bit of sweet, or if you prefer the sweet, knock yourself out. Use turnip greens. I love turnip greens. All right, so I'm adding a quart of the broth. And I know you think I'm crazy for adding that much spinach in there, but I'm not. I promise. It's going to almost disappear. All the liquid is going to come out of the leaves and into our soup, and the spinach itself is going to wilt down to almost nothing. You'll be amazed. All right, so I'm going to give this just a minute. I'm going to check and make sure that my beans are tender enough to go in here, because there are tomatoes in here that's a little bit of acid, and if your beans are not tender enough, you have to make sure that you don't add them to something with an acidic component. People think salt keeps beans from getting tender. That's not true. Acid keeps beans from getting tender. So, oh, there goes the sun. So the tomatoes will keep the beans from getting tender enough. So I'm going to check how tender those are to see if it's going to be time to add those when our spinach is wilted. Yeah, be back. All right, we are almost done. I turned it down, well, I turned it down a little bit too much. Told y'all that spinach would reduce like crazy, didn't I? All right, so our beans are good to go. So we are adding those in here, and I can already tell you I'm probably going to want to add some more liquid to this. Let's see, that was 3 cups of beans. Let's see how we feel about that. I got about 1.5 cups left. I say we just go for it. Let's just put them all in there. All right. And then, remember I only used 1 quart of broth. This is the second. I used chicken broth on the first one. I used beef broth on for the second. For no particular reason, it was which one I picked up first. You can use vegetable broth. I said vegan a little while ago. I've been experimenting with a lot of vegan and gluten-free recipes. I have some family members that are having some issues, and I don't like somebody not being able to eat at my house. So I feel like if I know how to make things vegan and vegetarian, I'm doing pretty well, huh? Because everybody gets to eat. All right, I do. I like that. I like both quarts. All right, that's going to come up to temperature again, just because we added the cold broth. But I'm going to go ahead and taste it and see how we're doing. See if we need to adjust for salt and pepper. Ooh, oh no, that's perfect. All right, I'm going to get it up to temperature and make a bowl and show you. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? So I'm sitting here talking about vegan and vegetarian. Actually, I'll finish the bowl with it. Let's do that. I'll show you what it is in a second. Here we go. All right, this is what I was talking about I was going to do to finish it off. I've got just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Right there. Whoop. Somebody slammed the door. All right. So that is delicious. Now, if you do want to make it a vegetarian version, just leave out the sausage. It's still really, really good. And if you've done that, you might as well just go full on vegan, right? Instead of the Parmesan cheese, use nutritional yeast. I've just gotten my first package. I'm experimenting with it. I actually kind of like it. All right, but this is our sausage and white bean soup. Wow. Y'all, that's just like a bowl of comfortable. All of those veggies come together is absolutely amazing. The broth is rich and phenomenal, and I'm eating too much to talk. That's how you eat well, y'all. Right there. We all gotta do it. Do it well. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. And if you thought that video was helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. And if you have a second, hop on over to Patreon and check out how to support my channel even more. Again, thanks for watching.